Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Opeyejesu Adegboyega. How are we all doing? How have we been? Hope you've been doing all right. Hope you've been good. Okay, so I'm here to talk about a particular topic today, which you must have seen from the title. Does God have a master plan for my life? Does God have a master plan for your life as an individual? Does God have a master plan for your life as a family? Does God have a master plan for your life? The truth is, this is a thought that goes through our mind most times as individuals, especially when we go through situations that are not very palatable, situations that we do not really enjoy or brings discomfort to us. We begin to wonder if God actually has an hand in this. We begin to wonder what God's plan is in the midst of all of this. But we need to be rest assured as His children that He has got us. God has got you. God has got me. He has us engraved in the palm of His hands. We are not out of His sight. We are not out of His sight. He's always having us in mind. He has a consciousness of us in Him. He's conscious of us. That's why sometimes if you actually look deep into your life, you would see that God has come through for you in certain areas before that you didn't even expect. He has come through in areas where you probably didn't know that you would need Him. Because okay, let me give you an example. There was a time I was running a program and I needed accommodation here and there because I was broke and I didn't have money for accommodation. And God strategically placed friends in that area for me such that throughout the program, I didn't have to pay for accommodation. I didn't have to struggle for accommodation. Even when it looked like the door to accommodation in a particular friend's place was closed because she had to take in somebody that she didn't really plan for, which I understand. God opened the door of another person's place for me to stay in order to finish my program. And the funniest thing is, almost immediately I finished my program there, God opened the door of another job for the person, and the person had to relocate. And I begin to wonder, was she actually there for me? No. Okay, so that was just my thought. But obviously, God has a plan for our life. That was why she was there at that particular time. I was just a beneficiary as well. So have that consciousness in you. If you look deep down in your life, you would see areas where God has come through for you. So when you are in a situation that looks unpalatable, that looks like you don't want to be in, that looks unfriendly, uncomfortable, and all of that, I want you to look down into your life. I want you to look deep and remember all the goodness of God and remember how God has come through for you in the past. And remember that if He had done it before, He said it in His word that if He has done it before, He can do it again. He's more than able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you and I can ask or think of. So He is a master planner. He has got plans for your life. The situation may not be nice, but God has got plans for your life. You may not be in an area where you want now, may not be at the point where you want now, but God has got plans for your life. Enjoy the process. That's one thing that we need to also do as believers when we are facing certain situations in our life. We need to enjoy the process sometimes to become who God wants us to be. Okay, for example, when we were in school, we had to read, we had to study. Sometimes some of us had to study midnight. For some of us that could not study midnight, they had to study during the day. They had to listen in class. They had to buy textbooks. They had to pay school fees. They had to do a lot of sacrifice. So and at the end of the day, it paid off. So let's always remember that God has a plan for our life, and the process may not always be smooth. The road may be rough. It will actually pay off at the end of the day. So have this in mind when you are going through any challenge, that this is just a process that will lead to where I want to be in life, that will lead to where God wants me to be in life. But enjoy the process. Do not run away from the process that God would have you be in for you to grow to where He wants you to be. If you are actually impatient, at the end of the day, you will come back to learn what God wants you to learn in the first place. You would repeat the class. That's what they say. You repeat the class that you run away from. If you run away from that class in the school of a process to becoming what God wants you to become, you actually come back to that class to repeat that class, and it may not be as easy as it would have been for you if you had actually stayed in the first place. So always have this in mind whenever you are going through any challenge. That God has got you. God has got you. You are not out of his sight. God has got you. He has plans for you, and he's working behind the scene. You may not see it now. It may not be visible to you, it may not be visible to anybody. But as long as you are in God's will for your life, God is working behind the scene. You would soon see the manifestation. Just be patient. Hold on to God, hold on to his promise, and it will come true for you. Okay, so I see you next time. Remain blessed. Bye.